Hey guys, Utah Steve here, and today I want to talk about the Esbit cook set. This is about 20 bucks on Amazon. It's made of aluminum, which I know a lot of you are against because of possible health side effects. However, A, I can't afford a titanium pot, and B, I'm only going to be using this in the outdoors. I'm not going to be eating out of it every day of my life and ending up with the Alzheimer's. So we're going to go with this set because it was inexpensive, lightweight, and I'm going to be changing to this instead of a canister stove, which I've been using for a long time. This eliminates the bulk of carrying a fuel canister as well as my heavier stainless steel pot. I can talk. And I just wanted something a lot more reasonable to carry in my pack. Now, if you're not familiar with Esbit, they make these little cubes that are excellent for starting fires, for cooking on, all kinds of uses. Solid fuel. They come in handy when the weather's not so great. You can still build a fire or have some kind of fire going. Let's go ahead and open it up. Now, I have not used this yet. This is a gear preview because I have yet to take it out in the field and give her a test run, but it comes in this handy little mesh bag. Keeps everything together. I will be keeping this. I'm not gonna suffer much weight wise by keeping the mesh bag on there, and I don't want my pot rolling all over inside my pack anyway. So here we have it. As you can see, it fits in the palm of my hand. The thing I do like about this is the pot itself is marked up to 16 ounces. Your average backpacking meal takes 2 cups of water, so that's perfect. That's all I've ever used, and also it's just right for a cup of coffee, cocoa, tea, whatever your preference is in the outdoors. Anyway, I really like that it's marked on the side. Some of these come unmarked and you have to figure it out and mark it with a Sharpie, so very convenient. These handles are great. They are, I believe, stainless steel, and they've got these rubber grips so that you don't burn yourself when you grab it. So very nice feature, I think. The rubber keeps the heat transfers to the other metal, and it keeps you from burning your hand, obviously. So here's the lid. It's got a nice little handy handle. And there's that. And then on the inside we have the actual stand, which also serves as a wind blocker. It's not the word I'm looking for, but my mind's drawing a blank. Okay, so here's how this works if you're not aware. Let me move this box out of the way. You take your Esbit cube, take one out, and we light it, and it goes right here in the middle. Your pot goes on top, and let me scoot that back a little, and your lid, actually forward, whatever, you get the idea. And then you just fill it with water, your desired amount of water, and cook right there with it. Now this is smaller than my stainless steel pot, but that's okay. I've only ever used 2 cups of water at a time, so I'm okay with that. Now, if you don't know about these cubes, I can already smell them. They smell fishy. They smell like fish. They smell like crab legs, to be honest. And if you like fish, that's great. If you don't, it's gonna gross you out. I like fish. It doesn't bother me. This is obviously not an indoor thing. I wouldn't light these and burn them inside. You'll smoke up your house. They say they don't emit a lot of smoke, but they actually kind of do. And your whole house will smell like fish. So definitely an outdoor cook pot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it outside, and I'll show you how it works as long as the air force doesn't drown out the sound of my video. So let's take this outside and light her up. Okay, here we are outside my yard. You'll have to forgive me, I do live pretty close to a fairly busy street. So here we go, here's our cook pot. Now I'm going to use one of these longer lighters just because it's easier to get down in there and actually light the cube rather than hold it in my hand. In the outdoors I'll probably just hold it in my hand, but for our purposes we'll do this. Before I get to that though, I want to show you I've put 2 cups of water in here. I like how it's backwards on the outside so that when you're filling it on the inside you can read the engraving frontwards. You get the idea anyway. So let's go ahead and light it and see how we do. I'm going to time this and see how long it takes for this pot of water to boil. This is cold water, just like I would use in the mountains. So here we go. Sometimes it takes a minute to get the cube lit. I don't know if you can see that, but the cube is burning. We'll get a good flame on it. Let it prime for a minute and then I'll start my stopwatch. Okay, so we've got a pretty good flame going there. It's primed for a minute. I'll go ahead and start my stopwatch here. Let me bring it up on my cell phone and go. And we'll see how long it takes for this water to boil. I'm not going to sit here and make you watch the whole time. I'll come back when the water's boiling and let you know how successful we were. Okay, I'm gonna have to apologize, guys. I actually forgot I had to go. I didn't totally forget, but I almost forgot that I had to go pick up my kindergartner, Jude, from school, and that's 20 minutes away from here. So, as you can see, it burned down in there. I'm gonna put a new one in. The water got really warm with 1 cube. My guess is it's gonna take 2 cubes to make it boil. So here we go, we'll start again and see how this goes. Sorry about the airplanes. I live near an Air Force base, can't help it. Go. Alrighty. Okay, now we'll set the timer again. The water's all cooled off, so we'll go ahead and reset my timer. Reset, start. There we go. One thing I'm noticing already, this burn area, the windscreen, if you will, the air holes are nice to help it burn hot and have enough oxygen, but you're still probably going to need a windscreen around here, because as you can see here, this piece of bark, I don't know how clear that is, I can't quite see my screen, but this piece of bark is smoldering. It was leaning against the pot and lit on fire. And that's because the flames were all over the place, and any breeze sent it a different direction. So it's good to have the air holes, but I think it still needs like a piece of foil around the outside to contain the wind so that it doesn't go all over the place. Plus it concentrates the flame on the pot more evenly to do that, and you'll have boiling water faster. Okay, we're about 6.5 minutes in. Here's how we're doing. Some steam and some small bubbles. See the bubbles forming on the bottom there? It's getting close to boiling point. We're at roughly 12 minutes. And here's how much of our Esbit cube is left. So definitely gonna need 2 cubes, but that's okay. And honestly, even if this takes 20 minutes to boil, you're in the mountains, you're using this, you got other things to do, you know? Now, granted, a canister stove is gonna boil within a couple of minutes. It's amazingly fast, but I'm really looking at lightening things up and simplifying, and that's really what this is about. It's not about convenience of how fast the water boils. Okay, we are really close to boiling, so we are also running out of Esbit cube. I'm just gonna get another one ready and have it standing by while that one burns down. You will have some blackening from the Esbit cube, but that doesn't bother me as long as it's on the outside of the pot. We are almost 14 minutes in. Not much progress over the last couple of minutes. I have done alcohol stoves before, but I'm not crazy about them. So this is something new I want to try. I want to make sure that's really burned down before I put this in, because that's very hot. Okay, I'm gonna put our second cube in there and light it up. I may not have to, that other one's still burning, kind of. But I'll light it anyway. There we go. Yeah, there it goes. So right now we're at 15 minutes. So we are 16 minutes in. Nice flame going. And there's our full rolling boil. So it takes 16 minutes and a little more than 1 Esbit cube. And that will help me plan for meals. I'll know that I need a couple of cubes per meal. And also altitude pending, because things burn differently in high altitudes, and it takes a little longer for water to boil. Alright, so as you can see, there's steam shooting out of the top. Full rolling boil. Took about 16 and a half minutes to get to that point. And we still have this much of our Esbit cube that we can use later. So what we will do is take the pot off. There we go. And pour that into your backpacking meal or whatever, and dinner is served. I suppose you could cook food in the pot, but that's not usually how I use it. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this little pot. Our little test run went really well. I'm excited to take this out and use it in the great outdoors. One thing I would recommend, which is probably kind of obvious, is when storing it, this is kind of wet right now, but just throw a bunch of these Esbit tablets into your cook pot before putting everything back together, so that actually put it in after you put that in, of course, so that everything stows away nicely and you don't have to figure out where you put your Esbit cubes when you have to dig through your pack later on. You just have to find your cook pot and everything is together. So my final thoughts as far as a preview goes, pretty cool little stove. I really like it. Or not stove, but well, yeah, it's a stove and a pot all in one. Very good price. $20 is not bad at all, considering a titanium pot could run you $70 just the pot. So quite pleased, excited to get this outside and use it. Thanks for joining me. I'm Utah Steve, and we'll see you out on the trail. Hey guys, Utah Steve here, and today I want to introduce you to, and maybe you already know about this, but hey, it's my video, so anyway, okay, start over. That was a shitty introduction, which I know a lot of you are in, when you're in the mountains. What was I saying? I totally lost what I was saying.